Carry on.
What is up, y'all?
Hey, everybody.
We're back once more.
We're back again with World Stop Web, everyone.
Let me get this microphone cute for y'all so y'all can hear how sexy I sound.
I'm Venus Hottentot.
And I am Grandbois the Nicole. How's everyone doing? Not that you can answer, but I'm going to presume that you're doing great. Because we are.
Yeah, me too. I'm doing great.
Yeah. We had such a long day, but this is necessary. We had some things we wanted to get off our chest and talk to y'all about.
Sorry about that little technical difficulty, but we're here.
Yeah. Now, I didn't tell you, but I've been looking at the stats for the show, and I think it's good that we're getting so much more comfortable with the platform because we have over 1,000 plays.
Yeah, go us.
We're low-key rolling, like balling now. I appreciate that, like, this is episode 3.
Yeah.
And we already got it going like that.
I'm
That's a good
proud.
sign.
It's a good sign. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you guys because it's all about you guys.
Yes. That means we're talking about things that are important to y'all, and that's
Let your
what we're
friends
here
know.
for.
Let your friends know, and please write us. Tell us on our Facebook page, on our Twitter, on our email. Write us and tell us what you like, don't like, hate, love, bring back, do. Let us know how you feel.
Yes, and we're looking for topics too. So if you have something that you would like for us to touch on, or something that you're unclear about, and maybe we can help you come to some sort of synopsis about it, we can do that too. So just hit us up, email us, talk to us, let us know. We want to hear from y'all.
The weirder, the better. Don't feel scared. The weirder, the better.
Cause trust me, we're two weird hoes.
Yeah, there's nothing you're going to surprise us with. We'll actually be interested in seeing how you guys feel.
Yeah, you have no idea actually how weird we are. So today's show is about something. It's a question I get asked a lot, and it's good that we're doing this because maybe yesterday someone asked me, research-wise, like, how do you know what's real, what's not? You know, how do you go about getting information and being able to trust it? So what we're going to talk about today is the 7 things to do upon your spiritual awakening. It can be a very tumultuous time, and there's not really a booklet. There's not really an explanation as to how you should feel, the motions that you go through,
Absolutely.
and stuff. So
We've started 7 steps. 7 steps to your spiritual journey.
so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into that. I think that's really important. That's big because it's going to be different for everybody. But these 7 things, and we cut it down to 7, it sort of encompasses the flow of what everybody will and should go through when it comes to this. So hopefully we can help 99.9% of y'all like Lysol.
And clear some things up and give you some clear and easy steps to starting this process that takes people years to even decide if they even want to start.
Yeah. So I know something that usually is the reason why people wake up is there's usually something that was brought to your attention that you did not know. Something that changes everything. Something that's sort of like earth-shattering. So the first thing you always want to do is question everything. Everything you know, think you know, everything you want to know. Always, always, always.
That's the first step, ladies and
Question.
gentlemen.
Yeah. So that's step number 1. Now, questioning things, that's something that as kids we do. That's something that as children, we do that. And, you know, we sort of over time get taught that that's quote unquote impolite and you shouldn't question certain things and certain people. It's a very religious minded sort of thing that's pushed on us. So you definitely want to get away from that when it comes to this because spirituality is all about knowing yourself. The only way you can know is if you go out and find. You will only go out and find if you question. So questioning things is the first thing you want to do upon your spiritual awakening.
And I caution you guys, just a suggestion, write those questions down.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe keep a journal or something like that so you can always keep track of your questions and your answers.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that because so many questions are going to come to you. You're going to be questioning things that yesterday it was common knowledge as far as you was concerned. But now that you're a whole new person, you're like, wait,
Right.
is the sky blue? Why is it blue?
Why
Who
is it blue
said
to
it was
me?
blue?
Is it blue? Is it red to anybody else?
Right? Who named it blue? What is
Right.
blue? You know, questions that seem so duh, but they're not. They're really not. So you definitely want to do that because what you're going to be doing is developing an entirely new process of thinking. You know, by questioning all of that stuff, you really train yourself to question everything. So nobody can present you with bullshit. Nobody can ever mislead you if you always make sure you're on top of it. Well, why is this? Why is that? You know what? Let me go find out.
All right, you guys, number 2.
Number 2 is you want to get comfortable with thoroughly researching things. Now, when I say thoroughly, this is what I mean. Me personally, I like to research the opposing argument of what I think. So if I think that the sky is blue, I'm going to look for reasons why the sky would be red. I'm not going to look for opinions and things and stuff from people who agree with me. No. That defeats the purpose, because as we know, the internet, books, you can find any sort of article that's going to say anything. You can find a book that's going to say anything. Everybody will agree with everybody. You want to look for something that's going to go against what you think. And if it can sway you, then you probably were wrong and it's right. If it can't sway you, then there's definitely truth in what it is that you know. You want to certainly like take care of it that way. That's me personally. How do you go about it?
And also make sure you guys research who is presenting it to you. Make sure you go deep into that person, and that'll open up some answers about what in their life made them question these questions that you were questioning.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I also like to, when I use literature as a source, I like to look for, historically speaking, I like to look for literature that's from that time era. So if I want to look up maybe, and this is hint, you know, this is a research show. So if I want to look for the true cause of the American Revolutionary War, I'm going to go look for books that are from that era. I don't want to read books and articles from Billy Bob written in 2005.
Bottom line.
I'm not pressed about his opinion. I want to know what was going on at that time.
What does his great-great-grandpa Jerry Bob got to say about actually living through it?
Because Jerry Bob has the tea.
Bottom
Billy
line.
absolutely does not.
He does not.
Billy has an opinion. That's what Billy has. Opinions can always be backed up with somebody's facts that you find under a rock. So don't be fooled by people who are telling you that they're telling you the truth. People who are presenting something as if it's 100% true. No. So these are just some ways that you could properly research things, because the second thing on the list of 7 is to thoroughly research everything that you come across. Things you believe and things you don't believe. If somebody presents you with something that you don't necessarily believe, it doesn't really resonate with you, it doesn't make sense at the time, go look for it. Go find out, okay, why did this person say that? Where did you get that from? Why do you feel that way? You know, it's okay to do that. And you definitely want to surround yourself with people who are willing to be in that relationship with you, if that makes sense. Somebody you can bounce this type of stuff off of. You definitely want to do that. So that's the perfect segue into number 3.
Number 3
is about surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Now, this is usually, I'm not trying to be funny, but I know people who have started this spiritual journey and sort of started like backpedaling. And it's always because they're surrounded by people who think the old way.
Right, absolutely.
They think anti-progressively.
Can I touch on that for a second?
Yeah, please.
I actually just watched, and I watched a documentary yesterday called One of Us.
Yes.
And it was about Orthodox Jews. I want to say it properly. Hadish. I make sure I do apologize to our Jewish listeners. I want to make sure I'm saying this right. But if I mess it up, if I butcher it, know that I am completely sorry. But
incorrect.
Hasidic Jews. It was about Hasidic Jews, and it was about the Hasidic Jews that have basically left the colony, and it was called One of Us, and it was about the things that the Hasidic Jews as a whole community would do to their people that leave the Hasidic Jew lifestyle. They were completely ostracized. They were taken away from their families. It was almost like very much of a mafia style mindset. Boom. And see, there, hate to call out all these religions. Don't think we're disrespecting your religion, but groupthink, and I loved it because it touched on the concept of groupthink. Naturally humans go with we go with the whole herd as sheeps with our shepherd. We go with the herd. We naturally eat when the herd eats, and we go with the accumulation of the community.
It's dangerous.
And it is more dangerous to think outside the box. So I understand that some of you going down your spiritual journey, it's like a life or death situation. But in the end, the documentary I did watch, all of these people felt better being able to think for themselves and living in their truth and feeling like, more of themselves than feeling more a part of the group. So, get excited about that. I understand it's not going to be just as easy for everyone as just walking down these steps.
Yeah, and it's not even always pretty. We, like I said, we condensed this down. We made it
Absolutely.
as simplistic as we could, but it's honestly not simple, especially this portion, because you find yourself having to separate from things and people that you knew, past tense, knew. Because spirituality is intensely individual.
Yes,
it is so like me, I am.
Yeah.
It's very that way. So it can be difficult, and for a lot of people it has been. For me, I'm, lucky in the sense that my friends and my family have been, for the most part, extremely supportive.
You've acquired like minds.
Yeah. Because my mom, my family is primarily Jehovah's Witness, but my mom wasn't really affected by that. So when I told her, like, hey, I'm a gay voodoo practitioner, she was just like, oh, well, that's very different. I have one of those cool moms in that way, but everybody won't have that. So don't think that this stage of it is very difficult, and don't think
we're
that
downplaying it, right?
Yeah, don't think that my story is going to be your story. I'm talking about it with a certain air of comfortability because of my experience, and your experience will probably be different, and that's okay.
That's okay.
But the end result is that you want to definitely surround yourself with like minds. So in lieu of what you just said about the documentary, one way you can do that is definitely by going out, meeting new people. Your vibe attracts your tribe.
Absolutely.
So you want to be able to go places where people who think the new way that you think.
Write that
Well,
down,
they
guys.
Yeah, please write all of this down. We're
Your
on number,
vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah, we're on number 3. So I hope you have 1 and 2. But you definitely want to go places and do things. You want to vibrate around the people who are vibrating on the frequency where you want to be, not where you are. Okay, you always have to think ahead. Think. Manifestation, like how this show is about. This show is about manifesting things. That's how you manifest a new environment for yourself. In your mind, you have to be there first. And you put yourself in that situation, and then you become the situation. So this is a very difficult part of the journey, but also very necessary. So number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4 is also pretty difficult. This is more internal. It's about the fact that a lot of times on this journey, you will come across information that's uncomfortable. You will come across information that goes directly against what you thought you knew, or even what you're comfortable with sometimes. You're going to have to really put yourself in check more so than other things and other people.
Absolutely.
That's how you know you really woke.
Right.
When you start checking yourself as opposed to the world.
And it might scare you, and don't let it scare you. Just understand that it is what it is. And now you are in the know. And being in the know
being
is
in
responsibility.
Yeah, like as long as you're not ignorant about things, nobody can ever pull the wool over your eyes. And just take the exercise that we had for number 2. You want to take that information, and whatever makes you uncomfortable, that's what you dive the deepest into.
Right.
Whatever is stressing you out the most, I just learned that Martin Luther King, You want to take that information, something that creates dissonance in your mind, and you want to study that the most, because then when it comes up again, you absolutely can't be swayed. You know what you know, and you can stand very, very, very firmly on it. That's really difficult too. I think for me, the most uncomfortable thing that I found out, let me see, because there's so much going on in this here world.
Absolutely.
I think the most uncomfortable thing that I found out, it was a pretty big revelation, is that the inception of of America itself, and we know this on some level, but the inception of America itself was really literally built and based off of our servitude.
Right.
And not just physically. And that's what's really scary. We know about the physical part, but it was also our spirit, that was needed to kickstart this.
Damn.
It was our bodies, it was our spirit, it was our mind. You know how many Black inventors whose names we may never know.
You wouldn't be crossing a crosswalk without your Black inventors.
Yeah, and those are the ones that we know. Who knows? you know, what
Who got
really
their
went
idea
down.
stolen, right.
Yeah, who knows what slave created something and their quote unquote owner took it over.
Hello, Hidden Figures.
Yeah. Here, exactly. And here we are 50 years later just learning stuff like that. Like, that was really disturbing to me. So that was something for me that I really had to dive into. And I was able to get into a lot of the structural stuff with America because it's frightening when you start digging into that.
Absolutely. I think I want to, yikes. I don't even know if I'm scared to say mine out loud, but you can't be scared on this show, ladies and gentlemen.
No, you can't, because it's only going to get more hot.
Exactly. In my spiritual journey, one of the scariest things or just the deepest things that I end up finding out was, at the end of the day, we all know about the black church. A lot of us grew up in the black church or even the black mosque. And I learned, I feel like personally how more church was more about the pastor than the Lord.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit of life-changing for me. I was like, wow, like, we're supposed to just go with anything this guy says. Like, even with the, the concept of the Pope sometimes, you're just that concept that, this person, this human is the vessel for the spiritual world. And I'm the vessel for my spiritual world.
Period.
I don't need anybody else to tell me
Who needs a middleman?
Bottom line.
I'm the middleman.
Thank you. I'm the vessel. I'm the
FOH.
telephone. I'm the cord. I'm the internet, Wi-Fi, all of that.
Literally.
And just want to let you guys know that, with that power, we're greater than we think. We have more than we think. Go ahead, about number.
And that's interesting because the Bible literally tells you that too. Everybody's holy book tells you that you're the vessel. So that's deep too. So now we're going to move on to number 5.
Yeah, we're on 5, guys. Sorry, I said 4.
Yeah, we're going to move on to number 5. Now, this is where, okay, you get to the level of your spirituality where you know some stuff. Okay, I know how to go and find information now. I don't necessarily have to depend on anybody else to teach me or show me anything.
Right.
I know how to go.
Regurgitate it.
Yeah, I know how to go out and search and find what I want to know. Now you're at the part where people start to notice your inevitable growth. You're at the part where your light starts to shine. This little light of mine. You get to that part, and now comes the responsibility. This is the part nobody tells you about. I have to whisper because I need you all to understand. Okay, you have to get it. There's a certain level of responsibility that comes with being woke, being enlightened, being in the know, because people will come to you and have questions. They will come to you and have concerns. They will come to you and need advice. If you don't know something, it's so okay to be like, I don't know. Let's go find out together. Yeah. And then along that way, you can show them sort of how you operate and how you move and how you research things, how you figure things out for yourself so that they can find the frequency that resonates for them. Because you're not always, and we have to get out of that too, you're not always going to agree with everything that everybody says, and that's okay. That's the point of going out and getting it yourself. So the responsibility is so important because you never know. You don't want to be responsible for leading anybody wrong because then you're no better than the people you try to get away from.
There's power and there's humility in that number 5, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So number 6 is as you become, and this is even a level above that, as you become more aligned with the universe itself, you'll become a vessel. Okay, so back to the word responsibility, you will get to a point where you kind of have the responsibility to speak up, chime up, and say things. You'll notice that you'll be put in situations where you'll be the only person in a group that knows something. Are you going to sit there and not say anything? Or are you going to enlighten your brothers and sisters about what's really going on in the world?
No more acting like you don't know, girl.
Yeah, you can't do that. Now, you don't have to be pushy. You don't have to try to push your agenda on anybody or shoot anybody down or tell them that they're dumb. Or
Power
that they
and
need
humility,
to stop.
guys.
Yeah, you still want to be humble, but you definitely want to let it be known there's knowledge out here.
Power nonetheless.
Yeah, that you could go get. Once you become that vessel, you'll notice that the universe literally makes you a light bulb on its Christmas tree. You are going to light up a room. Period, point blank. What are you going to do when everybody's looking at you? Basically is what that's all about. You're going to be put in situations where you have to help people. And you should. And you should be happy about it because someone helped you.
Absolutely.
You know, along the way, you're going to meet amazing people who are going to present you with amazing amounts of information and sources, and you're going to learn.
Especially after you
beautiful
start step
things.
1, you start seeking.
Yeah,
This is gonna come to you.
once you start seeking, everything literally does come to you. Yeah, that's true. You meet people who give you books. I've had people when I was in. I'm gonna get a little personal here, but when I was in jail, I met a guy who he was really good friends with the librarian, and every week we would get new books cycled in and out so that we could read. And he was able to get his books from his personal collection cycled into the jail, and he literally gave me those books. Like, I read these 4 times. Here you go. You can keep them. You can read them. And those books changed my life. They opened up a lot of things for me spiritually. Even now that my spiritual power is sort of based on a lot of the stuff I got from those books, and that's just one person I met. So as soon as you start this journey, things definitely do come to you.
The universe knows what you need.
Yeah, they definitely do come to you. So number 7, just to end it all off, this is the last one.
Number 7. I know I can't sing hard, guys.
I think you sounded beautiful, personally. When you perceive that it is necessary, it is needed, shed that light, spread that knowledge, and show that love. Now, whether that means telling that crying black child that their skin and hair is beautiful, or whether that means that homeless man that's standing on the corner, you might not go give him money, but you might bring him some food. Whatever the situation is, you want to be the energy that you crave in the world.
Be a light, guys.
Yeah, you have to embrace that light. Okay, so now we're on the step 3 of the light thing. This is the responsibility as well. The whole last 3 are about the responsibility, because you get all of this beautiful help and love from the universe and from those people that are around you. And then you develop this responsibility. So the last part of that responsibility is literally taking that light that you have become and bestowing it upon other people. There's a book called Pay It Forward. I read that in jail too. Ooh, I'm a rat.
It's okay.
Now I'm thinking about it.
It's okay, but noticing that terrible situation is when you find enlightenment. So know that, you guys, even when you're in a crazy situation, even when you're like, I don't have time to do these 7 steps. I'm going, through whatever. Through those 7 steps, you can break through out of any situation.
Literally. Yeah, jail changed me a lot. Call me Malcolm W.
Yes.
But definitely you want to become the vibration that you feel the world needs. You feel the world needs more love, then you need to become love.
Absolutely.
If you feel the world needs more knowledge, then you become knowledge. You become that person who is an educator of those who may be a little ignorant to certain things. And like I said, that does not mean you have to be pushy, but you can finesse relationships with people anyway.
Yeah.
I've talked to some of the most devout Christians I know, some of the most devout Muslims, some of the most devout Buddhists and things, and we don't have the same spiritual views about everything, but there's definitely things that we do agree on, and we decide that we want to talk about those things more than the things that cause problems.
Absolutely. The religion of love.
Yeah, and then we can, sort of bridge so many gaps that we can talk about the things that we disagree on and see the similarities as opposed to the differences. Because we live in a world where we focus on what's different. I'm me and you're you instead of we're us. So we want to sort of...
And we are us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we want to get out of that mind state because it's getting dangerous.
We all go, you guys. We're all going to go together. Remember that.
It's getting dangerous out here. If Donald Trump starts showing his ass because, girl, what was that on the news? They had some, what is it called? The bombers, B-25 or something like that. They had those geared up and pointed towards North Korea for like 24 hours yesterday. So if something goes down, we're literally going to be all we have, guys.
All we have.
And we don't want it to be a situation where everybody's disconnected or everybody's upset or everybody... we definitely want to be on one accord as much as we can, because you can turn on any TV and see what's going on this planet.
Me and Grandboy have talked about this in our personal time, and we really do feel, and write us about it, tell us about how you feel about what we're saying, but we really do feel like in the end, what's left, there's going to be a spiritual war.
Yeah.
And those melanated beings are the ones that were here in the beginning when all of it was going down. And those melanated beings would be the ones in the end, because we're the only one to be able to take the climate, the structure, and the radiation. We're going to be the only beings scientifically, physically able to take.
Yeah.
what, you know,
What's happening?
what's happening, what's going to happen to us. So with that being said, you know, everybody getting their third eye open and everybody levitating and becoming more spiritual and getting their herbs and their crystals, this is not by mistake. This stuff is older than us.
Exactly.
This stuff has been here before we were even able to write it down.
We're new.
We're going, exactly, we are new, but we're going back to where we were rooted. And we're going back to where we were rooted to win that spiritual war that we've already won in so many different facets over millions of times over.
Yeah. And that's what's so beautiful about this because, like I said, this is a research show. So you can easily go find and see what's happening with the climate, see the changes that are happening with our very own sun. You can see that the CO2 levels have met a cap. They've met a level where sunlight can't really escape the earth anymore. So it's inevitably going to heat up over time. You know, global warming is a thing, but the earth itself has been warming up steadily for upwards of 200 years. So that gives you perspective as to, you know, we often get these terms like global warming and we think that it's some new thing, and stuff like this has been going on for a while.
Oh, wow.
So the planet we live on, the realm that we live in is extremely intense. And you go out and you seek this information, you'd be surprised at the world that we live in. You really would.
But don't let it get you down. Levitate higher, vibrate higher.
That's the point of it all, because once you learn all of
Vibrate
that and you
higher.
learn about yourself, you learn that all of these things are in divine order, and so are you.
So are you.
So just to recap, I'm going to go over these 7 one more time.
All right, you guys, get out your pens.
Yeah, if you didn't write it down before, this is your time. So number 1 was to question everything. You don't want anybody to force feed you any information. Any question you have, ask it and go seek the answer. Secondly, begin to get comfortable with thoroughly researching things. Do whatever you have to do to make sure the information is as correct as possible. If that means reading books from the era, then do that. If that means going to talk and possibly debate with someone who's of the opposing view, just so that you can get some perspective. If you can keep it respectful, then you go and you do that as well. Number 3, you want to surround yourself with like-minded people. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Okay, write that down too, because that's a really good line.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
That's a really juicy line. I like that. I should get it tatted on my back.
No,
Trim
I was
stamp.
thinking that. I was thinking that to get the tatted. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Twinsies.
Sorry, guys. Okay.
Right. So number 4.
Number 4
is that
Beyonce
you-
4.
Oh, yeah. Realize that sometimes you are going to come across information that's going to make you uncomfortable. It's inevitable, but it's also okay.
It's okay.
That means you just need to dig a little deeper and make sure that how you feel is or is not justified, okay? Number 5, when people notice your inevitable growth, they will come to you. Be responsible. When you don't know something, it's okay to be like, I don't know. Let's go find out together. Or I know where we can find out. Or you know what? I have no idea. I know who we can ask. I read a book that mentioned it. Maybe we can go look, something like that. You want to take responsibility for the fact that you're now a beacon. Number 6 is once the universe decides to use you as a vessel, you're going to receive a lot of things, and you're also going to be required to give a lot of things, which segues into number 7. Be the light that you want to see in the world. Be the love that you think everybody needs to be. Once you become that, you notice that your environment becomes that. And once your environment becomes that, everyone around you becomes that. And little by little, person by person, we create this sphere of love over the planet. Because that's what we want. So that's the 7 right there.
Now, you guys, these 7 steps to your spiritual journey are steps to get into your spiritual journey. This is not the completion. This is not it. This is how to get started.
Yeah. This is how you get the ball rolling. This is by no means the end. I couldn't tell you the end because this is a lifelong thing.
Absolutely.
Like, I couldn't tell you what's at the end of the road because I'm literally still reading books and,
Absolutely.
I'm doing all of that myself still.
And with that being said, you guys, at the end of the day, getting the ball rolling, is the best part. You guys got started. That's wonderful. You're allowed to pat yourself on the back for getting started. You're allowed to pat your self on the back about keeping going because it's not easy. Like I said, I saw last night firsthand that there may be larger powers set up against you when you start your spiritual journey, how actually difficult it might be. But in the turn of losing, the things you don't need, the dead weight, you gain yourself.
Yeah.
And let us know how it goes when you guys start gaining yourselves.
Yeah.
Write us and let us know.
The fact that you're here, you've already started.
Absolutely.
So that's beautiful. You know, you've already began, and we're nothing more than a conduit. We're nothing more than vessels ourselves. You know, this information is something that we all own. You know, this is a podcast. We're not
Yes.
charging
This is not
anybody
for your-
for this. Yeah.
This is for your Christians, for your Muslims, this is for your Buddhists, this is for your
for whoever.
everybody, this is for your haters, this is for your lovers, this is for everybody.
I want everybody to hear it, and I want everybody to email us too.
And I want everybody to try to start their spiritual journeys. Email us, let us know how it goes. Grandboy, anything else to say?
I'm trying to think. Do I have any announcements other than the fact that I love y'all?
I love y'all. Write us. We love when you write us. We appreciate all the feedback, guys. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, I really appreciate all of the feedback we have been getting. It's been really solid from friends and from strangers and enemies alike. I mean, it's all beautiful to us because it's for somebody I don't know to send me a message and say that our show meant this to them or meant that to them or that
Yeah.
they became enlightened in this way. That's why.
Because it's a part of our spiritual journeys. This is
Yeah.
our step 5. We have to let the people know.
Period.
So
Like
we're
I told
walking
you, I'm
through it
still
with us.
on this.
Yeah.
We're still on this.
We're doing this with you.
We're not talking at you. We're talking with you, literally. We're sitting here with these microphones, and we're just, like, telling you what we know at the moment.
So you make sure you talk back to us, ladies and gentlemen.
Come next week, we're going to be whole different people, and we'll know more than we know this week. So hopefully you all really enjoyed this episode. Like we said, we want to hear from you all. Let us know what you think. Shoot us topics. Share.
Share down.
Yeah. Now, we
Share up.
definitely, since we do the show on
Subscribe.
Fridays at 7:07 p.m. Eastern Time, the vibe we're going for is, you know, you get off of work, you've been working all week, you're on your way home to get ready for your turn up or get ready to chill for the night, and we just want to be the ones that you're listening to while you're at home chilling with that glass of wine and that blunt.
Absolutely. And let me know how that glass of wine, that blend is. Thank you, everybody.
Pass it,
Pass
actually.
it down. Thank you, everybody. This is World Stop Web, and I'm Venus Hottentot.
And I am Grandbois the Nicole.
Vibrate higher, everybody.
Today was beautiful. Thanks so much for coming, guys.